Hey everybody, just a note. We are live. It looks like we're live streaming. So just, I know that no one's unmuted, but just know that your picture is live streaming. We'll start soon. Okay, great. We're going to get started right now. So we are live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first, orientation for the session. This is what our hearings are going to look like for the foreseeable future, obviously. And so I just want to say welcome, and it's good to see all of you. And it was good to see all of you yesterday, although we were all in pods, so that was interesting. But it's good to see all of your faces. So I just want to use this time to introduce our two new senators and then also go over some of the procedures for how our hearings are going to work and how witness sign up and testimony will work. And we're going to road test that a little bit later today with our 13 bills. They're all departmental bills, and many of them are bills that we passed out of here last year. So I hope we keep the controversy to a minimum as we start off, but it'll be a good kind of road test for us as we head on into the remaining months of the session. So before we get started, I did want to say, obviously, so we have two new senators, but we lost two senators as well. So obviously Senator Young, he went on and he's now at Budget and Tax. And so just want to say thank you for his year of service at Judicial Proceedings Committee. Really enjoyed his perspective. And if you didn't know before, he was once the mayor of Frederick. So, that was also something that we got to know about. And then also Senator Reedy, who's now on finance. It will be greatly missed as well. He's been on this committee for longer than I have, frankly, and it was always great to hear his perspective, and he always was a value add and a brilliant senator. So just wanted to say they're sorry to see them go, but not that they're on to greener pastures, but it was great working with them, and look forward to seeing them on the floor. But that made room for two new senators. So we have Senator Jack Bailey, who's here. I see him up in the kind of Hollywood Squares format here. So I want to just give a little bit of a background on Senator Bailey, and then we've got also Senator Michael Jackson, who I think he is joining us soon if he's not on now, but I know he's got some IT issues getting his account switched over from being a House member to the Senate. And so he may have some hurdles there. But Senator Bailey, and I'll open the floor up to you to say some things as well after I do a little brief intro. But so your District 29, St. Mary's County and Southern Calvert County, first elected to the Senate in 2018. You're coming from EHE. You're a double Blue Jay. So it looks like we have a couple Blue Jays and more Blue Jays on the committee now, with Sid Noor, myself, and now so you bachelor's and a master's degree from Johns Hopkins. And then also you worked for the Department of Natural Resources. You kind of worked your way all the way up, which is a fantastic career there. You're a sportsman, a hunter safety instructor, president of Maryland Wildlife Crime Stoppers, International Conservation Chiefs Academy. Your father was a state's attorney for St. Mary's County. You worked on a farm as a child, a tobacco farm, so I hear. And then also you started off working at DNR as on the patrol boat. So your perspective in law enforcement will be greatly valued here. And so we're just really excited to have you on board. And Senator Bailey, if you'd like to say a few words as you start your JPR journey, the floor is yours. There you go.
Thank you very much. Obviously, Mr. Chairman, it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to be here on this committee with you and serve the constituents, not only of my district, but all of Maryland. I would like to just say thank you for the introduction. The one thing that was left out is I am married and I have two children. My daughter is 16 and my son is 13. And we do as many things as we can together as a family, and look forward to serving with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I left out the most important part. So thank you for bringing it up. Well, welcome aboard. Looking forward to it. And then next, I don't know if Senator Jackson is here yet, but I'll give a little brief introduction. Senator Jackson just appointed to succeed our Senate President Emeritus and former Senate President, Senator Miller, representing District 27, was in the House of Delegates, came into the House of Delegates at the same time with Senator Hettleman and Senator Sidnor, myself. So we all came in together, and Senator West, we all came in together, and we're all here. So hopefully we're better for it. But he was a sheriff in Prince George's County from 2002 to 2010, president of the Maryland Chiefs Association. And while he was sheriff, he created the first 24-hour domestic violence hotline unit in Maryland. He presided over violent crime reduction in Prince George's County. He's got a master's from Johns Hopkins as well. He's a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. He is married and has one child. So we're obviously looking forward to his perspective as we move into the session. And it'll be great to serve on this side of the street with him. So welcome, Senator Jackson. And if you're not here, we'll see you soon. But you were loved and welcomed and spoken highly of. So thank you for being on our committee, and we look forward to working with you. Just very briefly, before we head into our hearings, everyone's office should have received a kind of a procedures packet. It outlines the processes and steps for witness testimony and setup. And so I'll just go over the wave tops here. And if there are any questions, we can drill down to those, and you can ask committee staff for those as well. Before we get into that, however, I do want to introduce, and many of you know, our committee staff and our support staff. So Jamie Lancaster, he's still on board with us. His portfolio will be criminal law, criminal procedure, juvenile law, and public safety. We've got Heather Marcioni returning. Her jurisdiction will cover courts and judicial proceedings, family law, real property, anti-discrimination, and human relations. And then we have a new council. So we have three members of our council core this year. Josh Prada, he's going to do transportation, correctional services, immigration, corporations and associations, estates and trust, and debt collection. So this is the first time JPR has had three councilors, so we're tremendously blessed for that, especially given our workload. So I want to just thank all three of them for their service, and we're looking forward to working with all of them as well. And then we'll move on to the staff. Sandy Pop, our amazing the head of our staff here, doing fantastic work and has adapted tremendously well to all the new technology and adjustments that we've had to make amidst COVID. So Sandy Pop is with us again. We've got Terry Joyner, Diane Torres, and Lexi Weber all coming back. You should be familiar with them, but they're all here. And although we'll only be in committee to vote, they're here and at the ready, and we'll be helping out as well. As for our schedule, bill hearings will take place virtually, just like today, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and they're all going to be live streamed on YouTube. So just be mindful of that. And as of today, we have 104 pre-filed bills. So the hearing schedule is going to be pretty packed every single day. Voting sessions will take place in the committee and will be live streamed again on YouTube. So next week, we'll be voting on Tuesday and Thursday after bill hearings. And then after that, we'll just plan to vote on Wednesdays and Thursdays after bill hearings. So I'll make sure that that's all issued out in writing so that your staffs have that schedule and you guys are good to go. As far as COVID precautions go, so I don't know if you've had a chance to come into the committee room, but plexiglass barriers have been inserted between our desks. You may have thought that our desks would be kind of 6 feet apart in the committee room. That's not the case, just because the technology couldn't adapt to that separation. So you'll have these plexiglass partitions in between all of our desks. And I've removed all the chairs. So like the audience chairs are all, the committee room is pretty much empty because I don't want to create any sort of opportunity for people to kind of congregate and sit and hang out. The press is going to be allowed in the committee room. So there are 3 press desks with 1 chair only at each desk, more than 6 feet away from our cluster of desks. So if they choose to attend in person, they'll have that ability to do so safely. When members are in the committee room, all doors will be open to help with air circulation. You'll notice that we have an air purifier or air filter that's been installed. I've procured another one and have asked for another one. So I think we'll have a total of 3 or 4 air purifiers in the committee room at all times. Masks must be worn at all times when in the committee room and around any other person on campus. Hand sanitizer has been placed on your desk, on all member desks. And we also have extra masks. So if the committee has extra masks and extra sanitation cloths if you need them. And we're going to say that we're going to refrain from eating in the committee room. We're only going to be there for at maximum 2 hours at a time. Obviously, if you need water, water will be available and you can drink, but we just want to make sure that folks are keeping their mask on. So we're going to have people refrain from eating in the committee room. And the committee room will be cleaned in between in-person meetings. So every time we're actually physically there, there'll be a complete wipe down of the committee room after we complete our work. Okay. We are also asking that in order to limit contact with committee support staff, that the committee members enter and exit the committee suite through the committee hearing room or the back door, just to limit that pass-through traffic. Again, for the bill hearings, the links will be sent out to members 48 hours in advance of a scheduled bill hearing. So your staff should be in receipt of those. We're asking that the staff members, if you're not able to do so personally, just log you in 15 minutes ahead of time, just so that we can work out any of the sort of the logistical, technological kinks. Now, this isn't official, this isn't a directive, but you're strongly encouraged to keep your camera on while we're in our hearings, because the staff's going to periodically toggle between the panoramic view and the presenter view. So you'll be going back and forth. And so if you need to, excuse yourself to go to the bathroom or take a call or whatever, just like normal, you can turn your camera off, but encourage to have your cameras on as much as possible. If you'd like to ask a question during the hearing, raise your hand using the option at the bottom of the screen, and your camera must be on when you ask your question. Final note, written testimony will be available on all the floor laptops. And if you want a printed copy, I know we had this before, we're kind of transitioning to an all digital format, but if you want a printed copy of the bill files and all that stuff, just make the request and JPR staff will consolidate the testimony by the morning of the hearing and deliver them to your office. Again, for voting, I'm almost done here. So voting lists will be emailed and uploaded to the MGA website at least 48 hours in advance when practicable. This year, you'll receive your voting packets via email. And please keep all the information in the packets. Just want to foot stomp this confidential, because member amendments are not public until they're offered. So even though you're going to get those in your email, just remember that those are confidential and obviously are subject to being submitted or not. So just make sure to keep those close hold. JPR staff will do their best to email voting packets to members the morning before a scheduled voting session. And please email committee staff or committee counsel any of your amendments at least 24 hours in advance, just to make sure that they have that all squared away. So whichever council member or whichever council is responsible for that subject matter of your bill, just make sure you get that in there 24 hours ahead of time. Okay, finally, floor leaders. I'm going to, just like last time, I'll designate floor leaders during the voting sessions. So once we finish voting, just hang tight. You'll get assigned a bill for the next day. You'll receive the folder on your desk, just like normal times. So the folder will be red this year as opposed to just regular manila, but you'll still get the physical folder on your desk. Just like last year, just keep it in your desk until it's past third reader, because the committee staff will come get it. So just normal procedure there. And that is all I have in terms of procedure. But again, you were emailed lots of detailed information about how things are going to operate and witness testimony and how many witnesses and how long and all that good stuff. So I see that we are joined by Senator Jackson. So this is the most talented, famous, and infamous committee now. We've got Will Smith and Michael Jackson on the same committee. But Senator Jackson, I gave you a brief introduction. I spoke highly of you, I promise, but I wanted to give you a chance to just say something to the committee if you'd like. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I apologize for technical difficulties trying to get to my office, and I believe something occurred. I couldn't get connected. I got locked in the room. So I'll make sure I go through all the documents we were sent. Look, I'm looking forward to the committee and the work we have before us, and you know, I'm eager to get started on this side of the assembly. So we came in together 6 years ago, and quite frankly, you know, I think it's gonna be great to see the Senate's steps that we need to take to address concerns for our constituency. So good to be a part of. I've been on the budget committee for 6 years, and so I'm looking forward to learning over here. So thank you.
Likewise, we're looking forward to having you, and your expertise is right on time. So I'm looking forward to working with you this session and for many more. Okay, before I wrap up and we toggle over to the actual hearing Zoom room, Sandy, did I miss anything? And is there anything that you wish to clarify or place additional emphasis on?
Yes, thank you. Just real quick, sorry that we've all got our computers on, so muting. Staff will not be delivering witness testimony to offices. The member staff will be able to go in and click on a link on their floor laptop to print everything, all the witness testimony if the member wants it. And then also, I just want to remind everybody to please log on with an identifiable username. If it's just iPad, we can't let you in until we know who you are for security purposes. But other than that, I think you covered everything.
Okay, great. Thank you for that clarification. So you'll be able to print off the testimony. Okay, got it. I think that is all I've got for now. The only thing left, Senator West.
Thanks. I have a yellow hand up here on the screen. I don't know if you all can see it, but I've figured out how to say I want to ask a question. So my question relates to when you have conflicting bills in the same afternoon. Unfortunately, I have 3 next Thursday. So in the old days, Sandy would simply come around the table and whisper in our ear that we have a bill scheduled next in EHE. We can't do that this year. How are we going to figure out the logistics of going from this committee to another committee and then back to this committee in the middle of an afternoon?
So I can answer that. So the president's office has emailed all of your offices, and they have requested a phone number so that the committee staff can reach out to you. So whether it's your office phone, your cell phone, your staff cell phone, if you could make sure the president's office has that information, and then each assistant to the chair will be reaching out to the members when it's time for their bill hearing via that number.
All right, fantastic. Any other questions? Senator Hedelman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question. Sandy, you mentioned that witness testimony will be available via our floor laptop. Where and how?
So when you log on to your floor laptop, if you go, let me pull it up real quick on.
And then will that be, for example, available at our hearing that's starting in 6 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
So when you go into the floor system, I think on the left, click on menu, and then where it says bill, click on the bill number. And then let's see, what are we hearing today? And then click on committee testimony, and then all the testimony that the committee received will be right there, like right underneath. And we're also going to be consolidating it, so there will be one link and you can print all of it at one time. It's the same process that we used last year. And actually the testimony, we're requesting that the public and members submit their written testimony 2 days in advance of the bill hearing between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on the MGA website. So the committee testimony will actually be available as soon as people start submitting it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I had to log in. So we have to do it. So we have to have the agenda before us so we know what bills are coming up so that we can punch in each individual bill number. Is that right?
Yes, that's a good idea. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Helpful. Thanks.
Yep.
Fantastic. Any other questions? Senator Sidnor's got a question. Okay.
Thank you. Quick question in terms of the link, the link that we have for the bill hearings today, will that be should I save that link and assume that that is the link that we'll be using for each of the hearings, or will new links be mailed out each day of hearings?
So you will get a new link for every hearing. So for example, today, because we have 2 different things, we have the orientation and then bill hearings, you got 2 different links. That link will be emailed out automatically through the MGA system 48 hours in advance of a scheduled hearing. And it's going to come from noreply@mlis.state.md.us. So just keep your eye out for that and kind of note it in your calendar so you can just go right to your calendar and click the link.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see Senator Jackson has a question.
Yeah, Senator and Sandy, I'm waiting on my computer to come back from OIS to switch over. So you may see iPad when you switch me over to the meeting this afternoon. Just wanted to note that. I'm still waiting to get that up and running.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, great. Any further questions? Senator Huff's got a question.
Just real quick. So, because I've heard conflicting answers of how we're going to do it. So when we get these bills that are, let's just pick a firearm bill because those have a lot of people on both sides. So if a senator puts in a bill in favor of, let's say, gun control, you're going to have a ton of people that want to testify. Quite frankly, I think, for example, Mark Pennick is really good on our side of being able to answer questions. He's knowledgeable. The other people, quite frankly, are not as knowledgeable. So how do we ensure that? How are we going to work a system or ensure that we get, quite frankly, some of the best people up to testify on these bills? Specifically on opposition, I understand on support it's easy because we'll pick them. But if in opposition, we want to make sure we get the best people that can give the opposing points.
Got it. And so we obviously, so if you page 2 of the document that we sent through, it kind of walks through that, but I'll just read it really quickly. And we can certainly, we're going to be working together on this. But so for the opponents, 2 witnesses will be selected at random on the system. 2 will be reserved for organizational slots. And the chair will select the organizational slots from the witness sign-up system to ensure that the organizations that are who most accurately reflect the groups opposed are provided. So we're going to have to work together on making sure that that's that that's done in a systematic and fair way. And so I think your example of Mark is spot on. But so that'll I mean that's the way it'll be. So it's going to require a little extra legwork for all of us working together and the chair to decide which organizations are most appropriate for the opposition. So we'll be working together very closely on that. I assure you on that. So it'll open process for members to help with that.
Yeah, and sort of what we'd had discussions on our caucus side and with the Senate president, but nothing's been formalized. That's why I bring it up, was that the committee chairs would take input and work with the ranking members on on this. So just on our committee, so everyone understands, Senator Castley is now the ranking member for our committee that our caucus designated. So if you could work with him on input, and obviously we'll all be involved, but I think we kind of know on some of these bills who are the people that we want to hear that are very knowledgeable and provide us great feedback. So
As always, yeah, I mean, I think that's always been the kind of like the ethos of the committee anyway, and the way we've always operated. So we'll continue that. And so Senator Castley and I'll be working closely together, and we'll continue our weekly meetings as well, like we did last year. So we'll do our best.
sounds good.
All right. Well, seeing no further questions, the only thing I always end on is just the room raider competition, and Senator Huff wins that for this round because election in the background. I know there's some YouTube video out there of you jamming out, so
That's right.
we're not gonna have a committee party this year, obviously.
Maybe committee party next year.
Yeah.
I'll play for a small fee of free alcohol. I will come and entertain you all.
Very great. All right. With that, we'll talk.